All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of South by Southeast. Today we are with Mireya from Fun Day with Misa. So thank you, Mireya, for being here today with us.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you guys, even though I'm not there
I
virtually, even
know.
though I'm here from Kansas.
So hello to Kansas and hello there. Mireya, tell us a little bit about you and your ties to the East Side. I know you're from here, but you're currently in Kansas, and tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I know you know my nieces, Jessica and Buzz, her husband, and she's the one that
Yes.
told me about your podcast. But I am from the Pullman area, and I grew up in there, and I also lived in Mount Greenwood. But I also visited the South Chicago areas, the East Side where she lived, and so I'm very familiar with that area. I went to St. Xavier University, and that's where I went to get my undergrad and my MBA in business administration. So I had been in HR for about 30 some years.
Oh gosh.
And yeah, HR is where my career was at from a corporate standpoint. And then I decided to write a children's book, Fun Day with Misa. And that's why we're having this discussion so I can brag about the book and share why I wanted to go into it. And for me, it was a really wonderful opportunity to not only share about my background in terms
Yeah.
of my bilingual skills, but also share with everybody my love with this puppy. She's my grand puppy. I don't have any grandchildren yet. I keep hinting to my grandson or my children. I have twin boys, John and Philip, and that I don't have them yet. But one of these days, I hope to have grandchildren. But I have this beautiful Australian miniature puppy, and her name is Misa. And one day I was puppy sitting her, and I just came up with this crazy story, and I've made it into a book. And so it's going to be coming into how should I say, come along with Misa is the name of the book series, and
Okay.
I've already have 8 stories in line, eight
Oh my
books.
gosh. Wow.
So the first one is Fun Day with Misa, and as you saw, it's bilingual,
Yes,
English and
yes.
Spanish. And I have this wonderful editor, Natalia Sepulveda. She's based out of Florida, and this wonderful illustrator. Uh, Chufi Art is how she goes professionally, but it's Cleofi Pacana from the Philippines, and she was able to illustrate her Misa, that is, beautifully throughout the pages. And so she was able to understand my vision of what
Oh
I
yeah.
wanted. And so for me, it was wonderful to share what I was looking for from a standpoint of my story of what Misa, because if you looked at the story, Misa being bored, and those are what kids are like. I'm being
Oh
bored.
yeah.
What am I going to do today? And to find out that she doesn't get bored by hanging out with grandma or granny,
Uh-huh.
as in the book says. So for me, it was an exciting time because that's how I am. I'm a very fun person, and so I would hope that if once I have grandchildren, they say, "Hey, she's a cool Grammy," and all that stuff.
Like
So,
that's what we can look
for me,
forward
that's
to with
very,
grandma.
it's very fun to be like that. So, again, for me, I would like to share those storylines. And so, as you look at the end of the book, she dreams about elephants. And so that leads to the next storyline because she goes to visit the
Oh,
zoo.
okay,
So each
okay.
book at the end kind of leads on to the next book. So
It has
that's how
like a little
I lead it too.
teaser.
But I never thought of myself as a writer. But, with COVID, there was a lot of people at home, and that's where this inspiration came. It's like, okay, I'm a little bored, so I'm gonna write something during the lunch hour, and that's where it came out, is during the lunch hour. And then I kept rewriting, and so this story was in the making for 3 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm very happy about the outcome of it. So now it's the marketing piece.
Oh
So
yeah,
here,
for
that's why
sure.
I'm speaking to you. I'm going to be doing some read-alongs with some schools, and I'm hoping to come out to Chicago in October
Oh
and hit a
nice.
couple of schools, actually out on the east side as well as on the north side, Chicago Public Schools. So yeah, I'm
Nice.
looking forward to doing some read-alongs with the kids.
That'll be so awesome, especially like how we were talking about earlier that it helps children see that they can speak Spanish too. Because I was even looking at the book and going like, "Oh my gosh, I can learn Spanish in little sentences just from reading the book and like sounding out what the words are." So I'm sure that it's going to be a good um presence in a school so that it can help teach kids like a little bit of Spanish and a little bit of, what they can come up with like on their own too.
Exactly. And I'm sure you know my sister Diane.
Yes, I
And
do.
she said that this was a good education for her husband Carlos because he doesn't have a good mastery of the English language.
Oh, wow.
So if you
Okay.
look at it that way too, he's got the Spanish piece down, but now he can also learn very well the English part as well.
Yeah.
So, but I also saw it as an opportunity to reinforce the relationship between the child and the parent, or the grandchild with the grandparent. You
Mhm.
know, my mom only had a 6 year, grade level education coming from Mexico.
Mhm.
And I remember to this day that she hired a tutor for me. And I'm sure she probably would have wanted to read along with me so that way
Yeah.
she could have learned. And I'm sure there's a lot of other parents that would love to have that opportunity. So I'm thinking that this book would do that for those parents, and that will reinforce that relationship. And if you think about it, think about the memories and that bonding that will create. And this book will, I think, will reinforce that. So I'm really happy about that. So hopefully a lot of good things will come out of Misa.
Yes, I think so. Tell me a little bit about what your inspiration was for Misa. I know that you said that it's for your grand dog, which my mom has only grand dog children too, children for babies. So tell me a little bit about Misa and your son and his wife about with their dog.
Yes, Misa, she's such a gentle dog, and there's a picture of her. And I also went ahead and created a
Oh,
plushie. There it is. There she is. And
so
yes, there's a
cute.
little tail butt there. But I'm hoping that I'm going to be selling these plushies. And of course, I've got the t-shirt, and I sent that t-shirt to you as
Yep,
well.
I have my t-shirt too. I was ready.
Yep, and I got them in kid size, adult sizes. I've got some keychains and all that. But having said that, going back to Misa, she's such a beautiful, gentle little dog. And she's just, she loves to play. And there's a scene in the book where Granny is throwing her blue bone. That's all Misa wants to do is play and fetch, play, and that's all she wants to do. And she tires me out.
Yo, yeah.
The dog does not know what the word tired is,
No.
but she just brings me a lot of joy. And when I was thinking, you know what, I want to share that joy with others.
Yeah.
And writing this book brought me a lot of satisfaction, self satisfaction. And I wanted to share that joy with others. And, the pictures, the illustrations, the colors were just beautiful,
Yes.
vibrant. And, again, if I can try to share the picture of the background here of Misa, this is a big poster. I'm hoping that the kids, will gravitate to her when I
Of
go out
course.
on read-alongs.
Yeah.
And they will love the picture, and they say, Misa, Misa, Misa.
Yeah,
And maybe
yeah.
that they'll know who she is because she's just adorable.
She is. And like you said earlier, like all of the pictures in the book translate very well. And I know that you picked the artist based on how her facial expressions were able to come through in the book. And I was looking back at all of the pictures and I'm like, yeah, it shows like in Misa, like what she's doing and how she feels and all of that. And it's a very good educational book, and it also kind of shows their emotions and like how they can have emotions too. And so I want everybody to know how they can get their hands on a book about Misa.
Yes, you can get the book on Amazon,
Oh, okay.
or you can go through Walmart online.
Oh,
You can
nice.
also do it on Barnes and Nobles online and Books a Million online. So
Oh,
those are the
man.
other areas that you can get the book. So I'm trying to see, once I go out, because again, the book just came out in June. I'm going to be visiting libraries soon so we can
Okay.
get it to the libraries. And then I'm going to go out to the independent stores to try to share with them, this is Misa, so that way I can get my name out there. And actually the book, not me, but the book out there, so that way they can get and carry it out for themselves as well. So that way, if somebody can go to an independent store and say, hey, do you happen to have Fun Day with Misa, they can
Right.
also actually order it and they can get that for them as well, but they just need to ask for it.
Awesome. That is really, really cool. And tell me a little bit about how the series is going to go. You know, we like a lot of secrets here. So I know that the next book is going to be about her going to the zoo. Is there, since you have eight lined up, can we get a little bit of a teaser of what we can expect?
Well, at the end of the book, as you notice, she and her dad are watching an educational program about elephants.
Yes.
And so she has this dream about
That's so
elephants.
cute.
So the next day, she wakes up with a lot of activity between her dad and mom, and they're packing a picnic basket. And she's like,
Oh.
what the heck's going on here? So they pack her up and they take her in a car ride, and they end up at a place, and she's sniffing and she's smelling all these different scents. And she's like, I smell a lot of different smells, animal smells.
Uh-huh.
And throughout the story, she meets up with all these different animals, and she
Oh.
asks, have you seen Mr. Elephant? So you'll have to read the book to find out if she sees Mr. Elephant. But in between, there's something that happens.
Oh
And
gosh.
yeah, it's kind of fun to read. But guess what happened? I have this wonderful editor, her, like I said, Natalia, and the book was so long. And in fact, you know my niece Mireya, right?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I had Mireya read the book. She says, Aunt Mireya, because she's named after me. She goes,
Uh-huh.
this story is too long. I go, you're kidding. So we had to break up the book.
Uh-huh.
So now the book is split into two. So the first book is
Oh,
Misa
okay.
Visits the Zoo, followed by Misa Flies Over the Serengeti.
Oh my gosh.
And in between, we introduce Misa's cat cousins, Eugene and Penelope.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Yes.
cool.
So now I have cat cousins or the cat families coming over as well. And
Oh
I
my
also
gosh.
introduced my other son into the books as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes.
So
So
it's
now I've
like
got some more family members
his
coming in.
babies.
So yeah, so now yeah, it's a big thing now. So but again, I'm connecting the story. So once the first book uh ends, you'll notice how I weave into the introduction to the next book. So I try to
Okay.
do that. And also, if you notice, the first book says throughout the book you'll see the
Oh
bone
yeah.
and the Japanese
And the
name.
letters.
The
Uh-huh.
second book will have something else as well. Each of the
Oh,
books will
okay.
have something. You'll be able to find something in the
In each of the
book.
books.
So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
and
cool.
my understanding is all so far, the kids that have bought the book, they love finding the blue bone or her name in Japanese characters. They love
Yes.
finding that.
Yes. That's like a little scavenger hunt as you're going through. And I know that in the book too, it goes, you can go back and look for all of those hidden bones and characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it makes you want to go back into it, even if you've already read through it. Like, oh, I didn't even notice that. So I can
Right.
go back and look for those things too.
Exactly. And if you notice at the back of the book, there's some activity sheets or
Oh,
activity
yes.
items from Misa suggestion to do, but also I have additional activity sheets as well as coloring pages on Misa's website called
Oh,
comealongwithmisa.co. And
awesome.
on there, it's all free. So kids can go on there if they want with the parents' permission. But I also have complimentary birthday cards that parents can
Oh,
sign up for free, that they can get a birthday
oh,
card from Misa.
that's so awesome. And
Yep.
oh my gosh, I seen her little paw print too.
Yes.
That is the cutest. I
The
love that.
birthday card will have a paw print from Misa.
That is so cute. Well, Maria, let everybody know again how they can find you and where to go and pick up a book that for Fun Day with Misa.
Again, it would be at Amazon, booksamillion.com, walmart.com, and barnesandnobles.com. And also you can go on the website, comealongwithmisa.co, for any of the activity sheets, all free, as well as coloring pages from scenes from the book, all free, as well as complimentary birthday cards from Misa.
Awesome. And everybody loves free.
Yes, free is good.
Yes. Well, thank you again, Maria, and I look forward to seeing the other series with Misa. So thank you again,
Well, thank
and
you for having me.
of course, anytime if you want to come back and promote the other books, just let us know when they're ready.
I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you. This is another episode of South by Southeast.